Hey Yoga Mamas, I'm here with a little short video on deepening your exhale. Last month I wrote a post about what it means to take a deep breath, and that was a pretty full post, I realized after I posted it. And it talked about changing the shape of your body, using different techniques to notice the different aspects of your breath. And I started realizing that the breath, even though it seems simple, can be really complicated. And there are so many ways we can approach it, which is at times overwhelming, but mostly it's inspiring because it gives us a lot of tools for bringing a deeper breath through our bodies when we're practicing. So, in this video, I just wanted to really focus on just the exhale. So in the post that's linked to this video, you'll find it in the description below. You can read about using sound to lengthen your exhale, using movement to lengthen it, or changing the shape of your body. So those are three ways we can lengthen our exhale. And you might wonder what's the point of lengthening the exhale? I learned pretty early on and in a pretty dramatic way that exhaling fully can help you deal with a lot of stress. I have asthma. So, with asthma, you often can't exhale fully, and it can cause lots of anxiety and stress. So, just the simple act of consciously lengthening your exhale can help you release tension and just bring you to so much better balance within your body and your mind. So, just to get to it, we're going to start with sound. How do we use sound to lengthen the exhale? You might notice that even just talking, you're already lengthening your exhale. Well, you're not talking, I'm talking. But when you talk, you have to use your exhale. That might not be the most relaxing way to do it though. So you can use a sigh, which is pretty chill. You could do it at any point in the day, just or even with your voice. Which if you have kids, I'm sure you do that now and then. So just a sigh, and as you do it, you feel your shoulders drop, maybe your face relaxes. You can do that while you're doing yoga on your mat. You could do it while you're out in your day. Sometimes making a different sound feels better. You could even or shh, like you're telling someone to be quiet. Um, those sometimes might bring a little tension to the jaw, but I do find them helpful if you're practicing with little children and they need a little imaginative inspiration, like let's hiss like a snake, or let's sound like ocean waves. So those can be useful if you're like, oh, I just need to relax my breath, but my kids are here and they're crazy. That's a good like together with your kids yoga tactic. For another sound tactic, you can vocalize, and that's just breathing in. It's like a sigh, and you do ooh or eh, and you may have learned this in birthing techniques. If you've done like natural childbirth classes, they often suggest vocalizing. So that's a nice way. It's a little stronger than a sigh. There's a traditional yoga uh, practice called lion's breath. So you might have heard this. They do it in kids yoga too. Traditionally, you would sit in Virasana like that, just kneeling. If you don't feel good sitting like that, you can put something under your hips. I mean, you could even sit in a chair and do this, or do this standing up. Have the hands down, and you take a big breath in. And when you exhale, you stick your tongue out and roar like a lion. And that's a real favorite with kids. I mean, even the adults get laughing in the class sometimes when you do it. So that is nice because it opens up your facial muscles. It gives you a little bit of that vocalization, and you can do it once or two or three times, standing, sitting, whatever position, doesn't matter. All right, so in the post that's linked to this video, I also talk about Brahmari, which is also known as bee breath. So Brahmari traditionally is done, you would like cover your eyes and plug your nose and plug your ears. And the idea is you're blocking out any sensory stimulation. But I find that you don't actually really need to do that. You might plug your ears just lightly or not, but whatever, plug them or not. And then you inhale. And when you exhale, you make a humming sound like a bee. So that's really nice. You feel a lot of vibration in the area of the face, and kids like that one too. I do that one with my kids now and then. So those are some ideas for using sound to extend your exhale. Most of them are very playful. You can do them spontaneously. You can do them on your yoga mat. Sometimes, though, if you're feeling pretty stressed or wound up, you might need a little movement to get the exhale complete. And one of my favorites is Breath of Joy. And this is done standing. I'm just kind of shaking my arms out to loosen up. So Breath of Joy, I also, in the post link to this video, in that post, I linked to another post about Breath of Joy. But here it is anyway, if you don't want to go to that. So you just stand, your feet can be about hip apart or a little wider. And then when you inhale, you do like a little sip of an inhale. And then the next little bit, inhale again. And the last part of the inhale. And then strong exhale. So the idea is it's really one inhale. It's just like in 3 parts. So I'm going to turn to the side so you can see how it looks. You go 1 inhale broken up into 3. Think of like chopping wood. That's what I think of. So when you exhale, I usually find it helpful to exhale through an open mouth. So it's like a light ha. Really any movement, walking, running, any cardio, biking, dancing, anything where you're really moving can help your exhale fully extend. And that's why I find cardio so relaxing. Some more gentle movement you can do is cat-cow, which if you've done yoga classes, you have most likely come across this little movement. So I like to have a little padding under my knees, and you just get into cat and cow, and you let the breath move with the movement. In other words, you're going to exhale and round the spine and tuck the chin, and inhale and arch the spine and lift the head. And as you get into it, you can repeat as many times as you want. And the more you lengthen the exhale, the more you might feel your core pull in toward your spine as you fully empty your lungs. You might even stay in cat, which is with the spine rounded, and push down through the hands and really feel that exhale. Just keep breathing if you hold it here. Awesome. So you saw how rounded my back was. Another way to use the shape of your body. So that was using movement to lengthen the exhale. Now we can think of changing the shape of your body to really facilitate your exhale. You don't need props, but I think they're helpful here unless you're super duper duper flexible. I like to use a bolster, but you can use like a long pillow or even like a folded firm blanket. Depending on your flexibility, you might pile it higher. But these bolsters and pillows are between my knees, and I can extend forward in child's pose. I'll have to turn my head to the side since the props are there, or I can put my hands there, and if it feels good, I can be face down. But whichever way my head is, if I just hang out here for like 5 breaths and notice my breathing, and eventually that forward bending motion will help your body through gravity to really fully lengthen your exhale, and it feels really nice. If you have a sandbag and you put it on your back, that can be nice too, but that's for another video. Child's pose isn't your cup of tea, or you want a different posture, you can do Paschimottanasana, which is just a seated forward bend. Again, props are always optional, but I like to use them. You might put something under your knees. If you're kind of tight in your hamstrings, you might have another pillow here. And you don't need these props at all, but if you need them just to really relax, that's fine. and just round forward. So here, sometimes we do this pose with a fairly flat back and straight legs, but here I'm just gonna say go ahead and round your spine and let your head drop. And if you need something else here, like a block or a cushion, go for it. And just stay here and breathe. And notice how each time you breathe out, the weight of your torso encourages your exhale to get a bit longer. So I know it's a lot of information. The next part is similar to that. So the next pose that helps with the exhale is basically the same position as that one, but it's standing. So it's a standing forward bend, or Uttanasana. And you can just kind of round down and let the arms hang. Some people like to cross the forearms, and that action of letting the head and the arms hang will pull on your spine and lengthen it. You can have your knees as bent as you want them to be. The main thing here is to allow the torso to relax forward. So as you stay there and breathe, that gravity will pull your torso forward, and it kind of pushes the breath out and helps you complete your exhale. All right, so those are some great ideas, using sound, using movement, and changing the shape or position of your body to really deepen your exhale. I hope you found those helpful. This is a lot of information in the video. It wasn't really meant for you to practice along, but hopefully you took notes or found something you liked, and I really hope you try one or two or more of these practices at some point. Let me know how it goes. Thanks.